I love the 1930s and 40s. The aesthetic, I mean, not the obvious problems we had and still struggle with today. I love the stories around that time period, the history, the noir, the fashion. So when I heard about this game series called Fallout, I decided to jump in at the latest game at the time, Fallout 4. Listen, people are going to say Fallout 3 is the best, or New Vegas is the best, which is true. Don't play Fallout 76, and play the Fallout London mod, which looks amazing, or only play the first one. The others aren't worth the time. But there's one thing Fallout 4 has that the others don't. Nick Valentine. By the way, he's a robot.
I'm a detective.
Okay, hear me out. Let me start from the beginning. I've restarted this game so many times, I got like the first 20 hours memorized. You ready? Let's go. We start off the game with the line that it always starts with.
War. War never changes.
And we get the overview about how things were there. Think of it like an alternate universe that continued to use nuclear power to advance and make things, and absorbing all the planet's finite resources. Never mind. Main point is that everyone nukes each other. We're sure we're in the alternate universe? That's where our character's story begins, with their partner and baby boy. After spending an hour on my character design and following the tutorial, I get the news that my family got a place in the underground vault for the impending doom. Just as soon as I get confirmed, the bombs drop. Family and I are rushed to the vault and we're told to go to the decontamination pods inside. My character wakes up 210 years later. Yeah, the thing about the vaults, they were built for various inhumane experiments by the Vault Tech company. I had the cryogenic experiment one, which, compared to a lot of the others, not that bad if I'm honest. Still, should have read the fine print. Oh, also my in-game hubby's dead and my baby boy has been kidnapped. And that is the premise of the game, to find our baby boy in the nuclear wasteland 200 years after your time.
A bit over 210, actually, Mum.
But this is a Fallout game, and that usually means open world exploration. So while the main story is to find our only child, the last connection we have to the pre-war times when hubby was alive, it does not stop you from spending a year or two in game, making settlements, finding companions, and exploring the Commonwealth of Boston. And with me having slight OCD tendencies with completing games, this is my absolute nightmare. The Commonwealth is vast and full of Easter eggs and lore galore. You probably won't find all of them in one run, so why don't I just finish the story part of the game and do everything else later? That is a very good question. So let's talk companions. Throughout Boston, you will find a couple of main story companions and a few extra ones while exploring. For example, I had no idea about Strong, the super mutant, or Kate, the addicted stage fighter, until I was wandering around the marketplace. And while you can only take one companion at a time, each one can provide you a perk if they like you enough, and you have the option to romance some of them. However, your choices have consequences. An action might appease one companion but disappoint another. Not to worry though, there are many guides on this. And sometimes you might lose a few side quests because of what faction you choose, or gain a companion too soon. I don't mind it though, there's just so much to explore and I get sidetracked so often from the main storyline. And don't get me started on the settlements.
We'll take back the Commonwealth, one piece at a time.
No time for that, Preston. I need to find my baby. So I head out to a place called Diamond City, and hardcore baseball fans will weep at the sight. Diamond City / Fenway Park is one of the more secure, safe places one can go to, and it's kind of fun to see the green wall, the bases, and the dugout. And it's here we will find our answers. I mean, after we save the guy that can help us. And it's in Vault 114 that's been taken over by a mob. And it's here we meet Nick Valentine.
I don't love the irony of the reverse damsel in distress scenario. Question is, why did our heroine risk life and limb for an old private eye?
I love him. And what's great is that you can romance some of your companions. One of the coolest characters in this game with a freaking noir persona is not a romance option. I can get with 8 companions out of 17 possible companions, including the DLCs, and I have the option to spend the night with 2 more characters. You want to know how many are robots? 4, possibly 5 of them, and a ghoul. I can also have multiple romances at the same time, but I can't romance the hardboiled detective Synth, and there's nothing about why he wasn't an option. Don't get me wrong, there are other good romance options. I will always love Hancock, Piper, and Kate, but Nick was the one I always had around me, and I wanted to finish the story with him. So I did what any normal person would do. I downloaded a mod. Normally, I don't do this sort of thing, especially on Xbox, but it's Nick Valentine, reason enough. I don't care if the flirty scenes don't have their mouths moved. I don't care if the camera gets a little wonky, and I definitely don't care that I have to go through the whole confession scene twice in order to get that perk. All that matters is I get to hear this lovely man say sweet things to my character when they wake up.
I never thought you'd fall for me. Glad to be wrong.
As usual, I've got something else for you.
Not now, Garvey! Okay, that's finally done. Let's go find my kid. So, Nick and I find the guy who kidnapped our kid, only to find out that he was hired by the Institute, and they're the ones putting out synths, replacing humans with robots, and no one knows where they are. Except this guy, Virgo. He was a scientist that ended up escaping, but is infected by the FEV virus, which is what turns humans into super mutants. And he tells us that we gotta kill a special synth known as couriers, and get a special cybernetic chip from their brain, and link it up to the Institute's headquarters. Yeah, I'm gonna go and finish up some side quests before that, okay? By this time, you can delve into 3 of the 4 factions of the Commonwealth. They are Brotherhood of Steel, the Railroad, and the Minutemen.
I got word of a settlement that needs our help.
I swear I should have just left you all in Lexington and Concord. Even though they're quite annoying, the Minutemen are trying to do good in an awful situation. Building settlements, coming together, and making places a home for those looking for one. And you can make these settlements, and that's what drew me to them and the first time I played, but that was before I realized there are about 100 of these things. Okay, technically it's 30 in the main game with 7 more in the DLCs, but that's a lot. And all of them require materials, and you can find that all over the Commonwealth, but only so much can fit in your pockets. You can make trade routes, you can make your own vendors, customize and build things I like, but it takes so much time, especially when you need the materials to make these things at these settlements. For 30 settlements. At least the radio's entertaining while you build.
She's just the way I want her to be, a million times hotter than TNT.
The Railroad faction is a group of people who try to save synths because they are built with no free will. They are bound to the Institute, and some of them actually want to have their own life. It's very admirable, and I'm all for it, because people in this game can be very outspoken about synths and ghouls.
Oh no, you're not allowed to shop here. No synths.
Good to see you too, Myrna. And I'm not the one shopping here. My friend is.
Fine. As long as the synth doesn't touch anything, we can do business.
I swear. Hey, you know the rules. No ghouls in Diamond City. Get your friend out of here.
Insult my favorite boys in front of me, will you? Then there's the Brotherhood of Steel. I don't like them. While one is a viable romance option and a popular one, I found out, I just don't see it. Maybe it's the power armor. Also, I'm not all for the Brotherhood. They take stuff from settlements. They force people to work with them. And they're all about keeping the technology for themselves, believing that they are the only ones who can handle such things, so someone like the Institute could not use technology for evil. They also don't like synths or ghouls either, so I'm gonna pass on that offer dance.
Oh, sorry to hear that. But I respect your decision.
The 4th one is the Institute. Yes, you can side with the Institute, and while I enjoy the freedom of choice, I will most definitely not be joining them for obvious reasons. With that said, I'm sure you can guess which faction I did side with to take down the Institute. While this is an older game, I don't wish to spoil the ending. There are plenty of videos about that without me adding to it. However, I did like the story, I like the moral dilemmas, and I love finding bits of lore all over the place. I do recommend this game if you like that sort of thing and you love that 1930s 40s look. Wow, this was a long one, but I did need some motivation to finish this game, and this seemed like a good idea. I hope I didn't ramble too much, and if you're interested about Fallout lore, I highly recommend Oxhorn on YouTube. He's very informative, immersive, and very detailed. I've watched his videos about the previous Fallouts, and he even makes 76 look good. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you, and take care. And now, bonus clips.
One last try. Yeah, you've watched me break 1,000 times. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will. then you don't. That's how it goes. Don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind so I get by. I just wanna be happy, happy tonight.
Somewhere.
Giving a warning, I'ma leave without giving a. But every time we say goodbye, I got so many flavors. I can't Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't. That's how it goes. Don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind so I get by. I just wanna be happy.